Well, g'day everyone. Today I wanted to talk about some of the amazing updates that Yolobox have given with their Yolobox Pro. One of the good things about this company is they keep updating it and giving out free updates and adding, really good features, and they do it quite often as well. This unit was sent to me, but I have not been asked to do any reviews on the latest updates. I'm just doing this because I find the product actually really good. So I'm just doing this off my own back, basically. But I thought I'd take you through all of the updates that they've added to this device because they've made it much, much better. And in fact, I'm using this for my everyday streaming device. So let's go to the website and I'll show you some of the things that they've actually done here and also demonstrate on the unit itself what they've added. So this was an update that came out on December the 17th. And it's the version 1.31 update. Its audio mixing is now available. Now, if you do get the latest version of this, these will be incorporated in it, but you don't have to sort of step these upgrades through, but I just thought I'd show you what came in this one. All right, so let's look at the next update. So this one is going to be this update 1.5.1. And they've added a couple of cool things in this one. It says this is the first update in 2022. We've added 3 new features and a few enhancements. So what they've done is they've added this thing called a monitor mode. Now what that does, previously you used to have to create a live stream every time you wanted to access the unit itself, but now if you just want to use it as a switcher and connected like I am into an ATM, you can use it on monitor mode, and I'll just show how that works now. If you look here, you can see that it says now, click the plus button, or the plus, to create a live stream or enter monitor mode. Now, the beauty here is that previously you had to create a live stream to do anything with this switcher. Well, now all I can do is, if I click on the plus, I can now go into monitor mode. Now, what monitor mode does, it lets me use this as a switcher. And that's really nice because, say, for instance, I wanted to add a second video in here. Let's just put this one in and press done. You'll see that it just brought it in as a second video. So now if I wanted to click on that, it will play that video, which is nice. So that will bring that up and I can just switch back to me. Now I've got this set up directly to my ATM Mini Extreme, and I like it that way because I can have 4 cameras plugged into this, or 4 devices, and then I can free up space on my actual ATM that I use for other things as well. So that's really nice. I love the touch interface because it's very, very fast. So now I use this as a switcher. So this is my main sort of switcher that I'll use all the time now. It's nice and quiet, works very, very well, and the touch side of this is very, very fast. So, this is terrific. If I wanted to see this full screen, I can just click down here and then you would see it in full screen as well. And this is all playing off the SD card that's inside this. So it's really nice when you do this. And again, I can just click out to see that small. If you don't want say your YouTube viewers to watch it, or whoever you're streaming to, if I click on the cog here, I can go program out and then you won't see the interface any longer. I can still see it, but you won't see it online. So that's another great way of hiding that, and you can be sort of working this all out as well, sort of in the background. So that's terrific. Let me just come back to me here. So that's the first thing, is being able to use this as a switcher. The only thing you've got to be aware of is a couple of things don't work due to the fact that you're not online. So you do have to take that into consideration, like you're not going to have comments, etc., and things like that there because you're just not online, so you can't use that. But if you're just using it as a switcher, it's great now to have that program mode there. So let's look at the next thing, is you can now reuse the project, no hassle for recurring events. So before, if you had events, you then had to create the event all again. Now you don't have to do that now because you can just duplicate the event and then it's already there. You then just have to change the title or something like that. But at least it's a way of using the settings that you've already done, and then you can just stream straight away. So that's a really nice feature that they've added on. It just says everything is preserved in this cloning of live streams, including the resolution, frame rate, bit rate, destination selected, streaming mode, and all graphic overlays and more. So it does save you an awful lot of time. So what else is new? It just says here, another complaint about the live stream is you have to delete them one by one. So previously, if you have all these live streams in, you had to delete each one of these one by one. With this new update, you can select them all and delete them all in one go, which does save you an awful lot of time. And I think that's a really nice feature to add. So if I go to the overlays, there's a couple of nice things that they've added in here. You can now have a countdown timer. So there's two that you can actually start from, which is this one on the right there, and also there. So you could have this one as be right back. That will, if you had to step out for a second or something, went wrong, you could sort of click that in there. If you wanted to just have a timer at the beginning, you could have this starting soon. And I know a lot of people do use that. And then you've got full control over what you want to put in here. You could change the text for starting, for instance. If you wanted to change that, you can choose the font. You can also change the font color from here. If you wanted to. You can also change the timer color, etc., and the scale as well. So you can make that smaller or larger depending on what you want to do coming up. So if I now put that on, it sort of blurs me in the background, and then the timer will count down. You can set how long that is, which is nice. So if you wanted to wait longer than 10 minutes or less than 10 minutes, you can have that set up as well. And to deselect that, all I do is just click on it like that. So that's that side of it. And while we're in here, I'll show you another thing that's in there. Is it's now got animated GIFs. So if you have access to some of these animated GIFs, you can just click into here, say this one, and then you've got full control over the scale of this, and you can drag that down to where you wanted it to go, and then just say done. And then if I click on the animated GIF, that can immediately come in too. So, it's a little bit of fun. You can have that in, say, for instance, if you got a super chat or something like that, you might want to have one that shows up. It just sort of makes it a little bit more lighthearted. I like that aspect of it. So I think it's just a nice thing that's there. If you don't want to use it, obviously you don't have to use it. So that's one of the pluses with it. Another thing that they've added inside this as well is now the ability to add two video sources. So before you could only add one, now I've got two in here. So for instance, if I wanted to also add this one, you can now see that I've got one down here, which is the video that I usually use at the end of my talk or whatever the live talks that I do, and then you can switch to other videos. Before you could only have one of those showing, which is really nice, and you can see it's very, very quick in switching, which is terrific. So that's that side of it. So that's what's new in the sort of video side to it, and also the overlays. Now, quite a number of people complain that the screen was too bright sometimes if you're in dark environments. Well, now if you want to scroll down here, you can change the brightness. So I could, say, drag this down and make it lighter or darker. So that's another nice interface that they've added as well. Now, they've added another thing which is under video transitions. You can see if I switch at the moment, well, let me come in here and I'll show you. At the moment, it's set on 1 second. So if I switch between me and also this video, it will change over in 1 second. Now, you can make that very fast if you want to. It goes down to 0.5 seconds. If I say done and then switch, it will switch very, very fast. But if I wanted to, say, slow that right down, I can go all the way up to 3 seconds. There's all bits and times in between that. If I now say done, it will go very, very slowly and transition over really quite slow. So, you have got now control over that as well, which is terrific. I like to leave it around about 1 second. I think that's enough. And then it's sort of a quick transition between the two of them. Another update that's been added underneath the overlays is something called, if I go to lower thirds here, it's rolling captions. Now, if I click in here, what's been added is a speed that you can actually set this in. So let me just put some text in there. I'll just put hello or something. Go tick. Now again, if you wanted to, you can change everything about this, like the text size. You can see it's up the top up there. You can move this around, obviously, to wherever you wanted it to go. So if you wanted to put it down the bottom and then say done. Now at the moment it's got 1 times for the speed. So let me just say done. And then if I bring this in, you'll see that what will happen now is it goes from left to right and we'll scroll across. So that's quite slow, which is fine. It just depends on what you're after here. But if you wanted to make this go faster, if I click onto edit, I can now click in here and go 3 times speed, for instance. and I'll just show you how this works now, just so you can sort of see it. So it's much, much faster now coming across. And again, you've got full control over what this looks like. You know, like I said, you can change the scrolling type. You can repeat it, one-time scrolling if you want to, down here, which is nice as well. Background color you can change, and everything else. So you've got full control over that. Another feature they've added is this flip screen upside down. So if you were using this in another orientation, you can flip the screen as well. That can be handy too, depending on how you'd like to set this machine up as well. So that's another feature that you've got there. So let's look at what I think is probably the biggest update in this, is the audio side of this. It's really quite powerful now in how it works. This is all the audio that you can sort of see here. You've got program, then you've got mic in, line in, HDMI 1, HDMI 2, HDMI 3, USB-A, and USB-C, SD card 1, SD card 2, as well there. You've got also a live stream. If you want to use the live stream, that you have to have something like another Yolobox, and it'll bring an RTM server in. So you could do it that way, an RTM stream, so you could get the comments in from here as well, or the audio. It's really nice, and you can control all of these independently. So at the moment, they're not clicked in. I've only got HDMI 1 clicked in here at the moment. So that's all I'm using. Now, you've also got audio follows video. You can turn that off because otherwise the audio would follow the cameras where you switch to. I don't like to do that. I like to determine where I'm getting the audio from. At the moment, I'm getting audio from a separate device, and that's going into my ATM Mini Extreme separately, so I'm not using the audio component from this. If I had the mic input into this, I could determine which one of those I wanted to use as the master, and then when I switched between all of the cameras, it wouldn't change. It would stay on that one master. Or if you want to, you could have it switch to another camera, or you could have a mix of everything in there as well. You know, it's really quite powerful now, and I really like it. The reason why you never heard the sound, like I said, from when I was playing the video before, was because I've actually got this not connected into the ATM. I'm using a separate means of streaming the audio. But that now is a terrific update that they've actually given you. You can control your volume through here. You can see that right there, and you can also set an audio delay as well. So you'll notice too that if you're using your mic in here, that's where your audio delay will come in. If you're bringing the audio in directly from the camera, you're not going to have an issue because it's synced directly with the camera. But say if you're using, say, a Rode Wireless Go 2 or something like that, and you connect that into the microphone, you would actually be able to then select the delay, which is terrific because then you can sync the audios up. So what they've done here is they've added a super chat overlay. The good part about this is it looks different to the other chats. So, you know, if you do want to sort of display that, well, at least it looks special because it's a different overlay to the others. And I think that's a really great thing. In the scoreboard, you can now change the team info. You can change things like the overlay and things like that with this now. Logo, you can add the team logo in there. And you can delete it. I never use this, so I can't really talk much about this at all because I just don't use the sports side of anything here. But they have made this change now where you can change the team logo and delete it, which is also nice. There has been other updates, but like I said, I just don't use that at all. Now, your bitrate setting, under the encoding setting here, you can change your bitrate. Now, you can go from CBR, which is your constant bitrate, which is the default one. You can also for constant quality or variable bitrate here as well. Now, you can set this up to wherever you'd like to go. So it will go down to 1000, and it will go all the way up to 50,000 kilobytes as well here. So this is really nice too. So you can change that. So what you do is you just work out what your system can use, and then you can change that setting there as well. Another nice feature here too is that you can now change your frames per second here. And you can say have 25. I think it will go from 20. You can have 24, 25, and you can go up to 30. I'm not sure how this is going to affect it because I'm actually doing it at the moment. So that's really nice too. So you've got full control over that frames per second and your bitrate now as well. So you can see here that the updates are really quite substantial that they've added to this, and they just keep adding them. It's amazing how much better the device comes over time, and they do keep releasing updates every few weeks, basically. So, you know, that's terrific, and I'm sure over time this is going to get even better. I love the fact now I can use this as my main sort of interface into the ATM, because I just like the touch interface and the way it will change and do things. So I just love the way that it works. I think it's terrific. So let me know if you have any questions. Leave them down below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Apart from that, guys, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye for now.